Hi, I'm Colin.
And I'm Bert.
This is Dabbing with Washington Artists. The idea is simple. 6 questions.
And 6 dabs.
As we get to know the artists behind the art that makes Washington, Washington.
So sit back and light those torches.
Because this is Dabbing with Washington Artists.
Hi, I'm Tigerlilly. And I'm so high. I'm sorry, these fools got me high. I'm Tigerlilly, and you can check out my work on Instagram and on Facebook at tigerlilly.arts. And you can check out my work at the Vulcan Art Gallery. It's going to be coming up soon, and that's vulcanartgallery.com. So, yes, follow me.
For today's series of dabs, we will begin our smoke session with a cherry pie, a lemon cane, and a Sunday driver, and we will round the interview out with a pineapple glue, a Georgia pie, and an ice cream cake.
I just want to say thank you so much for coming out and being a part of the show. Really appreciate you reaching out and
Thanks for calling me.
hitting us up. Absolutely. If you are ready to begin, Bert, what do we have for dab number 1?
So for number 1, we have cherry pie, which is a live resin, full spectrum live resin.
Wow.
Cherry pie is a well-balanced hybrid that is known for its phenomenal terpene profile of dark cherries and rich fruitiness. We picked up a gram of this full-spectrum live resin at a shop on Evergreen Way in Everett.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's tasty.
Yeah.
Can I do another one?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. That was just a tester. That's okay. There you go. You got a little bit of a bigger one there.
My first dab, you guys! I'm no longer a virgin!
Good job.
Thank you. My mom's so proud.
You saw it here, folks.
Yes. Just lost my virginity in front of 2 men. It's just like prom night. I'm sorry, Mom.
This is going to be a good fucking interview. The first question we like to ask everybody is, what role does cannabis play in your creative process?
I am a heavy overthinker, and I have a hard time focusing my thoughts when I want to be creative. So I have to be toked. I'm a big indica girl, so I like that chill vibe, and then throw on the music and see what happens. I did try one time without weed, and you will never see that picture. Never see. That was a hot mess.
Does I love it. Actually, a lot of the times when we get artists, they tend to be more sativa driven, which I think is kind of interesting for you. That you prefer the indicas, which I do too. I love the good indica.
I'm like a chihuahua on crack when I'm on sativa, and my heart races, and I'm just like a spazaholic, and then I can't paint anything. Then it turns into some like Ozzy Osbourne fest.
So, Bert, what do we have for dab number 2?
For dab number 2, this one is beautiful. It's a lemon cane, and it's a diamond sauce.
Wow.
Yeah,
those are
really
beautiful.
I love how excited you are.
I really like to see all the different textures and different ways the dabs are made. It's like an art in and of itself.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Lemon cane is a sativa-dominant strain with a rich lemony taste and is known for its tendency to leave the smoker energetic and outgoing, making it a perfect strain for social situations. We picked up these diamonds at a shop on 88th Street in Linwood.
And it's another solid indica.
Dab number 2.
Start you off right.
There you go. There you go. Beautiful.
I'm surviving. I feel like
You're doing great.
Right now.
Second question we love to ask everybody is, how has living in Washington influenced or affected your art?
Living in Washington for creative people is like what Paris is for lovers. It's just a cornucopia of different personalities and scents and views and just so colorful. And you can get everything in Washington. If you need downtown city life, you need that vibe, you know, that YouTube feeling, you go downtown Seattle. But if you need Bob Ross nature, you need to get a little zen, you throw on some Pink Floyd and you go hiking. It's the best. It's the best of everything you can get here. And I love it. And I'm not a native. I'm from Arizona. So I went from the most gorgeous, 2012.
Okay.
Is how long I've been here. And then I lived in Tucson and I lived in Texas for a little bit. And I decided I'm not a desert girl.
Could you give us a little bit of a contrast of the art scenes from Tucson versus here?
So in Tucson, it's very hippie gypsy. There's this, my first gallery show was at this place called Solar Culture Art Gallery. And I thought I was a boss, man. I was like 18. I threw my shit up with all these hardcore artists and I realized I looked like a doodle pad. But they were always so loving and so nurturing, and they are very into like the indie alternative, let's go to a random rock in the middle of town and spray paint it at 2 o'clock in the morning for art. And Tucson doesn't give a shit. They'll be like, look at this great art. Like, let's keep it. So that's where I stemmed from. And I just felt like my world was too small. So I came here, and everybody's creative in some way, and it's just pretty cool. It's pretty cool people.
It really is. It's a lot. It's been a lot of fun we've been meeting such a great variety of people.
That's exactly it. You just want diversity. Go anywhere in Washington, you'll find it.
Oh yeah,
I love that.
They're definitely a really, really good melting pot.
Yeah, it's very prideful. I have a lot of pride here. I think I'm a lifer.
Yeah. Mara, what do we have for dab number 3?
So number 3, we have a Sunday Driver. This one's a bit more of a hybrid. Pretty closer to a 50-50 here.
It's got more of a lighter scent to it. But
I like the color too.
Oh, that smells like candy. That's righteous. This one's gonna make me happy.
Sunday Driver is a perfectly balanced hybrid strain known for its tendencies to leave the smoker calm and relaxed, and its amazing terpene profile of sweet and sour fruitiness. We picked up a gram of this saucy wax at a shop in Capitol Hill.
You're getting a little bit braver with them too.
I am.
Been noticing that. Yeah.
I am. My balls are getting bigger.
No, that's great.
Look at my cojones. They're so large and voluptuous.
Of course, I'm going to get a little bit meatier now.
Meteor.
So, we got to know, have any artists or art movements influenced your work in any way?
Totes my goats. There's this amazing artist on Instagram. Now I'm gonna murder his last name, but his name is Chris Baugh, Baugh or something.
Okay.
And he's on Instagram. He does photography realism, and when his paintbrush strokes are just passion in each one of them, and I can watch this man paint forever. And he does this like romantic, dark, alternative view of what New York would look like or what California would look like. And
that's cool.
So it's absolutely phenomenal. And I looked at his work and I was like, I gotta try this. I gotta try to paint. And he was the one that made me pick up a paintbrush, because I was like, I feel like his paintings narrated things for me. Just like when you hear a song and you're like, oh, this song was written for me. So I saw his paintings, absolutely amazing. And I was like, I could do this. So I started with charcoal first, and obsession. And then it just grew from there. I got to play with charcoals. I would come into work every day, just shit all over me. And I loved it. And if he's around, nod my head to him, because he's phenomenal. Someday I'm gonna meet him and I'm just gonna be like, Messiah, let me touch you.
It's really, really beautiful sentiment. You know, some people come in here, they don't really have like one specific go-to person that they'll answer.
Oh, I love his stuff. And when it comes to like nature work, there's an artist called Tim Packer, and he works with the light differentials between like tree branches. So he really makes sure that you can see that backwards light, and the whole concept of like when you stare past something and you get that blur, he excels in that, and he can capture that, and then that changes the mood.
Awesome, crazy perspective.
Yes, and I was just like, oh my gosh. So I'm looking at his work. He inspires my nature work that I do. And Chris Bow, gotta learn his last name, he inspires my memory clips. So I'm so grateful that people produce their stuff and put it on a platform where you can view it for free and expand, because when I was growing up, we didn't have those opportunities. You want to see art, then you're going to go to art galleries and they only show, Monet and you got this very small circle of idealisms, and you're like, well, why are you putting my creativity in a box? So I got to see these other people do their work, and I will never shame anybody on their work. You can do a stick figure and I'll be like, bomb stick figure.
That's about where I'm at.
I'm like, that's amazing. You do that stick figure so good. Yeah, so I love it. Art's magic.
All right. Okay, so for number 4, we have pineapple glue. This is another hybrid.
Pineapple glue is a well-balanced hybrid known for its strong and distinct pineapple taste and smell, and its cerebral high that leaves the smoker calm and chatty. We scored a gram of this doughy crumble at a dispensary on 64th Avenue in Bothell.
It just took a second. Some of the
So, most of your art is based around charcoal and acrylics on canvas. Could you tell us a little bit about the difficulties or advantages that using these specific mediums have over, stuff like paint or stencil?
Yeah. So charcoal is my swan song. Charcoal is where I want to go if I just want art therapy, because it smooths on the paper and it almost knows where to go before you know. And it's just this gorgeous depth of beautiful darkness versus the shady grays that you can produce by smearing it with anything. Charcoal is so functional, and I absolutely am obsessed with it. And if I could be solely a charcoal girl, I would, but the downside to charcoal is it transfers really, really easy. You have to put it in frames to get the longevity. You have to spray it down with stuff, and I'm just too lazy for that. So I have, my house is covered in charcoal paintings.
Oh, wow.
But they're literally on the wall. And if I'm wrestling with somebody and I get knocked up against the wall, I'm gonna have like a whole impression on my arm of what it was. But I started off with charcoals because I'm poor and I couldn't get the acrylics yet. And then I got the acrylics and I was like, this is whack. Like, I cannot make it work. And I had to learn that your paintbrush actually tells you what to do, and stop forcing it. And that's all art is for me. Stop forcing my thoughts, let it go, and just let the universe tell you what you need to paint. And it's the only time in my life that I will give up my power and my forcefulness when I paint. I give up that control. So painting is like my daddy, my dom daddy. And I just listen and I say, yes, sir.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. Acrylics now have my heart. I love acrylics. I'm learning how to work with it. I was upset with acrylics first because it wasn't producing the same work that my charcoals were producing. Like, I was amazing with charcoals, and I'm like a dee with the acrylics.
Gotcha.
So, did you understand that reference? It's horrible.
Yeah.
That's so random. Hello, 2004.
Yeah, right.
And so, yeah, but now I'm starting to get comfortable with the acrylics. Now I'm not fighting with it. I have my own style, I have my own color choices, and I love it.
Burr, what do we have for dab number 5?
So for number 5, we have a nice crumbly one, Georgia Pie.
Georgia Pie is a sativa-dominant hybrid known for its distinct taste and smell of fresh-baked cobbler. Known for its more indica-like head and body high, this strain commonly leaves the smokers with a floating effect. We scored a gram of this batter at a shop in Marysville.
I like Georgia Pie.
Good to go.
I have a Georgia peach tattooed on my body, but I'm not telling you where.
Ha
Is it your scalp?
It's my butt. There we go.
The human face and form are recurring themes in a lot of your pieces. Do you have a process behind the selection of your models, or do you tend to explore the form of what you have available?
I believe in imperfectly perfect. I will never paint a model woman or a model man. I want scars, and I want a broken nose, and I want big eyes that don't match the face. I don't choose my models based on, references or anything. I actually don't get to choose my paintings at all. I throw on music, and if I see something in my head when I'm listening to it, and I will listen to a song 9,000 times when I find a picture, my poor family is just listening to the same song over and over for 2 months. But when I listen to music, it will Snapchat parts of my memory, and they're never like a full scene, a full thing. It's always like one small scene, like Raquel laughing. That's all I see, but I don't have any context behind it. Or a woman staring at lights. That's all I see, but I don't have any context. So I paint, and then by the time I'm done, I go, oh, this is what I was painting. I'll try to have like a rough draft of it, but it never turns out like it is. So all I care is that their damage is beautiful and it's realistic. Like you can see their damage, and I love it.
That's
It's really encouraging to me to hear that, because I don't paint or anything, but I do dabble with a little bit of writing from time to time, and I have that exact same reaction to music. Like I'll listen to something and I can just see it, and I'm just trying to write out what I'm seeing in my head and trying to piece it all together to create something bigger.
What song's gotten you lately?
I listen to a lot of really weird and random stuff. But like one of my biggest kicks recently has been Bon Iver. Holocene. Is that song's so vibrant, and it really speaks to me.
Right now I'm getting obsessed with 2 separate songs, and they're totally the antithesis of each other. I know, multiple personalities, but there's this band called Black Puma. And oh my gosh, there's this song called October 33, and it's like what jazz should have been if jazz was now.
Okay.
And it's just he uses real instruments in the song, and you can hear his emotion. And I listened to this song so many times that my neighbor complained. So And then there's this really cheesy ass song out right now, and it's almost embarrassing. It's cheesy and sad and quirky, but it's that if the world was ending, will you come over now? Listen to that song like I'm a 14-year-old girl going through a breakup. Yeah, just it's so horrible. And I love it. It's awful.
If you could, do you think you could recall like the first time you heard a song, you're like, I have to paint something to this?
Totally. Pink Floyd's "Wish You Were Here."
Oh my God, my heart.
And you're gonna think it wasn't just the song, but in the first 30 seconds of the song, you can hear him thinking, him coughing. You can hear television in the background. You got taken to that moment where he was sitting there going, "The world is ending. I wish you were here." And the significance of him, and we're just 2 lost souls swimming in a fishbowl. Fuck yes, man! And that song got me. Yeah. And I was gone. I was gone for that, and that opened up my world to everything. With that Pink Floyd song, I learned about Journey and Elton John, and it was beautiful. Rush, yes.
I've been kind of obsessed with Pink Floyd's Live at Pompeii.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I feel like it's like the best recording of several of their songs.
Yes, at those jam sessions. You don't get that now. You don't just get like pure music, like pure, and the one song, Shine On Your Crazy Diamond, I think there's only like 15 seconds of singing in that, but it's transcendent. And then you listen to stuff now, and it's so filtered and watered down for mass consumption that you lose the art behind it. You lose the taste, and it's just cardboard.
It's almost like these guys are a bunch of people that did drugs and made art, and for other people that do drugs and make art.
It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, I love it.
Dab number 6. What do we got?
Oh, transition.
So for dab number 6, we have some ice cream cake.
Oh, ice cream cake.
And that with another indica.
Ice cream cake is an indica-dominant strain known for its rich terpene profile of vanilla and sugar cane, and tendencies to leave the smoker calm and euphoric. We picked up a gram of these sugar diamonds at a shop in Bothell Everett Highway in Everett.
Now I just have Pink Floyd in my head. That's all I'm hearing.
Oh yeah. Let's never have bad backtrack to your life.
Okay, all right, let's do this. Can I get an Eye of the Tiger theme song from you really fast?
It's the eye of the tiger, it's the beat of the fight. I don't know all the lyrics to this song.
Get it!
That was sexy.
A lot of your pieces make extensive use of the contrasts of lights in night, or lights, in darkness. Excuse me. Do you find this does more to serve as visual appeal, or I messed that up.
Do it again.
Do you find this does more to serve as visual appeal or to help facilitate the message of a piece?
When I paint, there's no message for me to give. If you find a message in my painting, that's amazing, because I want you to make your own judgment and find your own connections with it. So when I paint, I never have like, I'm gonna paint about love lost. I hear music and it goes on there, but when I listen to music, I'm fighting myself. I'm fighting the duality of my mind, the darkness versus the light, the this is socially acceptable and this is not socially acceptable. And I always walk that very fine line of what's appropriate and what is expected. And so when I do the lights on there, it's because when I am experiencing music, it's literally light pulling through. It's that crack in the wall that you can just see that there's an outside and it's okay. So I love the way, including nightscapes. You notice like when you drive in Seattle at nighttime, it is the most gorgeously romantic, just a swan song of just, it's amazing. And you just stop and you're in awe of it. And you're just like, look at these stars, just touchable. And then you go in there during the day and it's a whole nother mood, it's a whole nother message, it's a whole different song, Pink Floyd versus Bono. You can't, they're amazing on their own, but So that's where I go. I feel more in tune with myself when you have the forefront and the darkness and then the light coming through, and you just know shit sucks right now, but you're gonna make it. Just keep going. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And at city night, oh man, find a good makeout spot and just Seattle's amazing for that.
Yeah.
Washington State is amazing for that in general. I mean, when there's no fog or cloud cover.
I think one of my favorite pieces I saw was kind of a simple one, but it was just it was like a wooded area with the light perspective coming from the front, and I just really liked that because it played with like kind of what would happen with the shadows coming from our vantage point and all that stuff, and I don't see that in art very much. But where the light source is, and that one kind of caught my attention just because I liked the shadow play with it and all that.
That one's hanging over my bed.
That's awesome.
That one's one of my.
That one was one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, that one. That one.
And it was such a simple one too,
Now the song for that one, if I can remember, hold on. It was Hosier's Cherry Wine.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Hosier's, and that's what I listened to on repeat for the whole time I painted that song. It's ridiculous.
I love that you could remember what song you were listening to when you.
My very first painting, the very, very first one I ever did was this ginormous canvas, and it was, but that one was Dave Matthews' Gray Street. And oh my gosh, I was just in love. I thought I was Picasso. I was like, look at my shit. And I've improved since then. So. My ego has gone down, but my talent is,
There you go.
humble.
I absolutely love how relatable your process is. I think the last thing I wrote was to Arsonist Lullaby by Hosier.
Yes!
It's such a good and such an
gosh.
evil song.
Yes! Oh my gosh, yes. There's this song that is gonna be my next painting. And it's kind of a nod to the Marine Corps, but there's a song called All of This Could Have Been Yours by Shooter Jennings.
Gotcha.
And that song, the first time I heard it, I had to pull over my car and just sit there and be like, what am I listening to? And then there's White Buffalo, Oh Darling, What Have I Done? Yeah. That man, when he, oh darling, I was like, this is a painting. This is a painting. But I love that song so much that it's on hold. Like I have to find the right, because that's a different level of pain. That's a pain that I haven't experienced. And I'm just like, I need that song for a painting. Yeah. So he's just sitting there. White Buffalo, I see you, baby. I'm gonna get to you, but my next one is all Shooter Jim.
It's so unfucking candy because I've got White Buffalo song on hold
yes!
too. Wish It Were True.
Yes!
It's so good.
Oh my god.
I feel like there's a story I could write something
yes.
about to that
That
song.
man, he writes poetry when he sings. That song, I Got You, or Murder Song, I was like, shut the fuck. Have you guys ever heard of Alan Stone? He's from Washington State.
Yeah, the DJ?
No. I'm gonna blow your mind with this mofo. Sorry. This man, my favorite song from him is called, oh gosh, I see it in my head. But he writes these songs, and he has this soul, this like ground B.B. King came to life. And when you hear his music, you think, like, what does this man look like? And I pictured, this big, black, burly, Armstrong looking like mofo. And then you look at him, and he is so from Washington. He is this skinny little white guy with long hair and a beanie and crazy teeth and like milk goggle glasses. And you're just like, what is this hipster Urkel? And he's just belting this music, and I'm like, oh my god, that comes from your bones, that comes from your soul. And when people can create like that, when people can do something that can transcend to millions of different lives with millions of different processes, and they all affect those people, I was like, holy monkeys, that man is Alan Stone. He's from Washington. He does free shows here all the time. Like, he just pops in. Like, this guy's like legit dude. He just pops into like random cafes and he's like, I'm gonna play. You're like, oh, thank you. I really want to be shocked if you saw this dude. Like, he named his kid Rocket Rooney, I believe. This guy is crazy. Just the craziest looking dude. I love him so much. And then he opens his mouth and you're like, okay, Cab Calloway, what you got for me? Let me hear you. Ooh. He's a great musician. So.
I just want to double back to the original questions. We got a little distracted there.
We did.
Not anything wrong with that. Do you have any advice that you could potentially share with other artists that might be watching the show as to
I've learned a lot.
How they might be able to I don't know what the question I'm looking for is here. I'm sorry.
Are you sure you don't dab?
I am positive. I think I might be getting a contact high though. But,
you're welcome.
You don't have a message behind any of your pieces.
Yeah,
I thought that was actually really fascinating because it's something I struggle with. Mm-hmm. I feel like everything I do has to have a message. So like, what advice would you give someone on the other side of that position?
So the only things that I really truly have learned and used in my daily practice is that I need to stop comparing myself to other artists, because they have their own reasons in their own life and their own tragedy and their own trauma that makes them produce what they produce. And I can't compare. And I refuse, because that's diminishing their work and diminishing mine. So I now experience art differently. I don't experience it for is that worthy of art? I experience it for, how does this make me feel, and what am I going to get out of it? And then I give myself a break. Like, I just stop fighting with myself, because when I don't have the weed, when I don't have the music, it's just negative. It's like, what are you doing? You're not worthy of this. Nobody's going to take you seriously. Why are you wasting your time? And it's heartbreaking when your main cheerleader is the one degrading you. So now, when I paint, if I feel like I'm gonna beat up on myself, I will stop and I will put the paintbrush down and I will go back to the song that caused me to paint, and I will dive in and smoke that weed and transcend, and then I get my grounding again. So I just, be kind, man. Be kind to yourself, be kind to other people. Realize that there's bigger problems in the world than what you're going through, and you can't judge, and you can't you can't be evil because there's just too much of it. So if you're gonna do anything in this world, produce something that you're proud of, that means something to you, that you find beautiful or painful or any emotion, and share it, and share it without feeling bad. Like, just know you're the fucking shit, and I'm gonna show off this artwork because look at what I did, and keep that mentality, because somebody out there is gonna be like, that stick figure, that's the stick, that $1 million for that stick figure. Like, there's a painting that's just a line, millions of dollars for this line, and I bet you that guy was like, this fucking line, I'm just gonna fucking line this, and somebody was like, dude, that line speaks to me. So, I mean, be nice, be kind, be gentle to yourself, and, do it. Just do it. Like, you might be, I'm not gonna do it, I'm not worthy. Fuck you, do it. Do it, I wanna see. And honestly, if anybody wants to show me their work, hit me up. I will cheer you on with your stick figures.
Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Dabbing with Washington Artists.
Make sure to share with your friends and click like and follow below for more great content. Also, check the links below for the more information about the artists and some of their current projects.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it now.